everyone, so in this video we're going to be talking about the best business to be starting online in 2022, even if you have no prior experience. All right, everybody, David Schley's back here again with Two Guys Build a Biz on YouTube, the best place on YouTube for anything related to starting, growing, or scaling your social media marketing agency or online business. If those topics are interesting to you, make sure that you hit subscribe down below and don't forget to tap bell notifications so that YouTube will let you know the next time that we drop a new video just like this one. Also, if you have 2 seconds, make sure that you smash the like button. It really helps the YouTube algorithm and let others know that this is a valuable video that will help them on their entrepreneurial journey. All right, everyone. So this video, we're going to be talking about the best business to start online in 2022. And the best part about this particular business model is that it's something that you can get started with a very low barrier of entry, very low upfront investment of dollars and cents. And best of all, doesn't require any prior experience at all. So what is this mysterious business? Let's jump into it. So there's no mistaking the fact that as we move our way into 2022, as of the time of the publishing of this video, the world has really changed. To give you some context, the iPhone and with it, the App Store, Facebook mobile, Instagram, all came about actually when I was a sophomore in college, not too far from where I'm sitting right now at Arizona State University. And with it ushered in a new era of digital commerce and opportunity for entrepreneurs who wanted to get started with their business online. And as the past decade has gone by, to give you some idea, the barriers that used to bar the everyday entrepreneur from getting started, like a huge financial investment. You know, if you look at the way that entrepreneurship used to be done, you'd have to have one of two things. Either you'd have to have $400,000 to $500,000 to open a franchise like a Jimmy John's or a Subway, or you'd have to have some sort of novel idea, patent, or big idea that others were going to want to invest their dollars with you in order to get started in any type of business at all. And as laptops, as our mobile first economy has changed, the opportunity for entrepreneurs has opened. And with that has come one of the greatest business models of our time, which is the social media marketing, or you may have heard SMMA business model. So what makes this model so attractive? Let's explore that a little bit further in the video here. So a couple things that really set this business model apart and really had it lead our list as we go into 2022 is the fact that, first of all, it's perfect for beginners. It really is one of the best first businesses that you can start online for a number of reasons. First of which, you probably know enough just in your existing knowledge of social media to get started and to start managing social media for clients. The second thing about it that really makes it an attractive online business model is that it can be done completely online without actually having to meet anyone in person, even your clients. To give you some idea, this is the business model that Derek and I, my business partner and the co-founder of Two Guys Build a Biz, and the other familiar face you probably have seen on this channel. It's a business that we actually run, and we've been running for 5 years at this point. It's entirely online, and we haven't actually met a client in person for over 4 years at this point, despite running a multi-six-figure per year business. The third thing that makes this business model particularly attractive and at the top of our list for 2022 is the fact that the demand for these skills is only increasing. If you look at the number of businesses that have been founded in the last 12 months and the number of social media marketing agencies that have been started in the last 12 months, the number of new businesses compared to the number of agencies being started is outpaced by a factor of almost 1,000 to 1. That means for every 1,000 businesses that are being started, there's only one social media marketing agency to service them. That means that there's massive demand for these skills. Not only that, that doesn't include the millions of businesses that have been in existence prior to 2022 who are now realizing, especially with world events and how things have changed, that they need to get with the program when it comes to social media, and they don't want to do it themselves. The last thing that really makes this the leading type of business to start in 2022 is the fact that the startup costs are almost non-existent. As I mentioned earlier, this is the business model that Derek and I run for our own business. It's a social media marketing agency, and we got started in November of 2016 for a total startup cost of less than $200 US, and we had our first client paying us almost $3,000 per month, less than 14 days after getting started. All right, so let's dig a little bit deeper and explore those items and talk a little bit more about the logic behind them. So this business model is absolutely perfect for beginners. You may not realize it, but your existing knowledge of social media is actually higher than a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs starting businesses that have nothing to do with social media out there. That means that if you know how to use Facebook, Instagram, maybe TikTok, YouTube, work a camera, post to social media, you know more than the average business owner, and they'd be willing to pay you for your knowledge. And they pay highly. The average client retainer for a new social media marketing agency is between $1,000 and $5,000 per month. These days, our average retainer for our own agency is between $10,000 and $15,000 per month just for one client. Another thing that makes it amazing for beginners is the fact that you can learn advanced tactics very easily. YouTube University and even courses like our program, the SMMA Blueprint, can teach you skills that will earn you higher retainers per month in a very short amount of time. So unlike having to go to college to get an accounting degree and get some sort of certification, that barrier to entry doesn't exist with the SMMA business model, and you can get started with your first client in as little as a couple days after founding your agency. The last thing that makes it really attractive for beginners is because in the grand scheme of things, social media and the industry of social media management is fairly new compared to others. Having light experience or being new in the industry isn't a barrier to getting clients. Because the industry itself is new, that means that new agency owners definitely are not really an anomaly, and business owners almost expect that your agency might be somewhat new if you're looking to work with small businesses. All right, so the next criteria that we looked at was the fact that the SMMA or social media marketing agency model is based entirely online. So one of the things that makes SMMA super attractive is the fact that you don't even have to meet your clients in person anymore. And that might seem a little counterintuitive. I definitely have a lot of friends that run social media marketing agencies where they go shoot content, visit their clients. It's actually how Derek and I got our agency started and off the ground to begin with. Our first client that we ever had was actually remote. We were in Minneapolis, they were in Detroit, and they would just send us pictures and stuff to post to social media. But our clients after that were actually local clients in vicinity to us. And it took us about 6 months to realize that that wasn't really necessary. And all that we had to do was partner with a photographer locally or have our client just hire a photographer to come and shoot content. Or they themselves, if they are pretty savvy with a camera or have a recently created iPhone, have the technology to make good content themselves, and they can just send that to you. The reality is that Derek and I haven't actually met a client in person for over 4 years at this point. So what this means is that with a laptop and a phone, you actually have almost everything that you need to get started in this business. So the next criteria that we looked at was demand. So we want to build a business, obviously, that's going to be set up for the long term and isn't hyper competitive. You know, if you've spent any amount of time online, you probably have heard of the SMMA or social media marketing agency model. So it can seem like everybody's kind of getting into this business at this point. But the reality is, just by the numbers, that for every one agency that started, there's close to 1,000 other types of businesses being founded every single day. That means that the demand is absolutely massive. Even if the space got far more competitive, there would still be massive opportunity. And the reality is, Derek and I, we don't even bump into competition for the most part. Or if we do, it's oftentimes because our client didn't have a great experience with their prior agency and they're still open to working with someone else. So just because somebody's working with an agency today doesn't mean that they won't become your client tomorrow. The other thing about this demand is the fact that more and more people that are running businesses today are realizing that they need to move their business online, or they might be doing it themselves today and they're looking for a trusted partner who can take off some of that workload. Social media itself can be like a full-time job for a lot of business owners. And the reality is that they started their business because they want to run that type of business. They don't want to be a social media expert, right? They don't want to have to keep their Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever relevant channels are relevant at the time up to date. And they want to be a master of their own business, not necessarily a master of social media. So they're looking for someone to bring on the team, just like a team member in their business, to help offset some of the time that they're investing in social media. And they're willing to pay quite high for it because they know how important it is to the growth, success, and longevity of their business. So they see huge value and they're willing to spend the dollars to get that value from a social media manager that they can trust. The last factor that we looked at was the overall startup cost. So there are definitely other ways to start businesses online. You know, there's Amazon FBA, there's drop shipping, some of these trendy, buzzwordy type business models. But the reality is SMMA and the social media marketing agency model has the lowest startup costs out of any of them by a long shot. The thing that makes SMMA so attractive is because it's a service-based business, you have no overhead or upfront costs that are required of you to get started. You can take take your earnings from your first clients and reinvest that into your business and more tooling and making things better. But the bare bones get started costs are oftentimes in the hundreds of dollars, if that, depending on where you're at. And the biggest cost of that is usually filing your LLC, which is optional. You can be a sole proprietor, which is free to get started with, and be started in this business for as little as $5 to $10 per month for your professional email, $12 for a year for your domain or your .com address, and $20 or $15 per month depending on what web builder you use to create your website. That means your monthly recurring costs are $20 to $30, and your additional yearly cost is $12 for your domain. That's literally all that it can cost to get started in this business. There's really no other business model in existence that's so easy and frictionless and inexpensive to get started, especially for beginners. So if you're looking to get started online in 2022 and start your business, there's some things that you can do to get started. YouTube and this channel are an amazing place. We go super deep on all different types of ways of getting your agency started, tactics, strategies. We also have a Facebook group, which I'll link in the description down below, called the MMA Blueprint Community. As of the recording of this video, it's over 6,000 members strong of entrepreneurs and agency owners, and we have personally mentored over 1,000 agency owners at this point getting their agency started through our course, the MMA Blueprint. So I'll link that down below, but it's kind of like a cheat code when it comes to getting your business started, where the biggest investment you're making in a course is time savings, right? Looking at Derek and myself, we got our business started in less than 2 weeks. We had our first client paying us $3,000, but that was because we had a lot of existing knowledge that we pass on to our students so that they can replicate those results, keep their clients happy month after month, and start scaling their agency to $3, $5, $10, $20, $50,000 per month. Whatever their financial goals are, they're able to hit that, and we really help them shortcut a lot of the pain, challenges, and speed bumps that we hit ourselves when we were getting our agency started. So go ahead, check that out. Like I said, I will link that down below. But if you're looking to get your business started online, there's really no better place to be than the MMA or social media marketing agency model. I'd encourage you to find out more about it and let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you have questions about the MMA model? Do you have questions about Derek and Mai's business that we can answer for you? We'd love to engage with you and discuss in the comments down below. And if you have more questions, be sure to hit us in the comments as well so we can cover those on future topics. That being said, if you're new to the channel here, once more, hit the subscribe button to be notified and be alerted the next time that we post a video like this. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video.